All right, so here we have Bitcoin on Bybit on the daily. This is actually the second video I've made today. The first video was about 20 minutes, really good video, and didn't have the audio on, so we're going to try to make this one even better. Uh, so here on the daily, we are operating on higher highs, higher lows. So we are definitely in an uptrend right now. We have made it to our first target at 24,500. Which, we've had these red zones out for quite some time now, based on Fibonacci, VPVR levels, a lot of different confluence, and we did make it to our first target. So right now, your RSI, we're going to talk about the levels here in a second. Your RSI is working its way up to the bullish control zone. We did bounce off the bearish control zone, got above that signal line. Now we're working our way up. By the way, the RSI and the MACD are momentum oscillators. They judge the positive or negative momentum of the markets. So quick rundown on the RSI, just for anybody new. Here's your neutral median line. If you're in the upper zone of the neutral zone, it's bullish. If you're in the bullish control zone, it's more bullish. If you're below that neutral median line, it is less bearish. And if you are in the bearish control zone, it is extra bearish. Also with the signal line, if you're above the signal line, that means you have bullish positive momentum. Below that signal line, bearish momentum. So we are above that signal line as of now. On the MACD, we are above the zero line. Even the signal line is above the zero line. Positive momentum is increasing on the histogram. Oh, by the way, so if you're above the zero line on the MACD, it's bullish. Below that zero line, bearish. Above the signal line, bullish. Below the signal line, bearish. If you're printing dark green bars on the histogram, it's bullish. Same with light green, but that means it's waning. Same thing with the dark red and the light red bars on the histogram. That's bearish. Just a quick rundown of the indicators, so in case you don't know about them, you can kind of follow along. So we are above that zero line. We did front run that signal line and the zero line and resumption up. BBWP is below the moving average. By the way, this indicator measures volatility. And if you are below the moving average, you are contracting. Above the moving average, you are expanding. Same thing with the upper and lower zones. Lower zone is more contraction. Upper zone is more expansion. So you are below that signal, that moving average right now. So, I mean, basically, you have a range on the daily, between 2,600 and 24,500. So that's basically your range. But I don't think this range will continue, because if we go back down there, we're probably going to see new lows. If we do switch around the daily uptrend, I think we will see new lows pretty quickly. But also the fact that we are in a daily uptrend before we got to this point, and based on Fibonacci. So we're going to go ahead and take a Fibonacci. Well, by the way, it makes me feel like we're going to go higher than I originally thought. So what we're going to do is we are going to zoom in and see where our Fibonacci lies. Okay, so on the daily here, we got the 2.414, oh, hold on, 2.414 coming in at our next red zone. We did have the 618 up here, so I would expect some sort of a pullback at the top of this red zone at 25K. Probably back down to the bottom of the red zone at 24,250, if we can get up there. And then our 2.618 comes in at 27,379. So what I want to do here is I want to raise this red zone. Actually, I want to raise it from the 272 to the 2.618. So that is the red zone I'm looking at. That's what I'm saying. I think this thing goes a little higher than I originally thought. Let's go back down. So yeah, let's check the medium-term time frame. Let's go to the 8-hour. So here on the 8-hour, we still are making, we made a higher wick high, but we'll find out. This isn't a confirmed high just yet. So we got more room to run. On the medium-term 8-hour, we are just entering the bullish control zone above that signal line. Now, The only thing, let me see here. Nope, never mind. On your MACD, you did bounce off of that zero line. Positive momentum is increasing on the histogram above the signal line. BBWP is above its moving average, working its way up to the red line. So I would expect the move to continue. I don't think the volatility is over. I think we have another massive move coming, probably the same 16% that we got here. Now let's see what this move would be if we got into our next red zone. You know, that'd be a 30% move. And I don't really think we're going to go higher than, you know, 28K. I'm going to go ahead and raise this up actually to 28. And that's what I'm looking at right there. So on the higher term time frame, on the daily, it does look pretty good. On the medium term time frame, it looks pretty good. Now let's zoom down in. Let's see, we got 414 coming basically right where we got rejected from, the 1.414. We are in the bullish control zone, front running that signal line. We're going to have major support down here at the 65 level on the RSI, which is the bottom of the bullish control zone, also where that signal line is coming in at. We need to stay above 23,784 in order to stay above that signal line. And oh, sorry. Let me see here. Hold on one second. I had to fix something. Okay, so sorry about that. MACD, looks like you have a strong upside curvature. Positive momentum is decreasing a bit. Looks like you could be curling over a little bit. But we did get a pullback down to the, actually we're going to go ahead and delete this. Let's see where we came in at if this was a confirmed high. So we got an 18% move. We got an 18% move so far. So we could have a pullback down to the 21 at 23,000. I would not be surprised. Come down, make that higher low. We could even come down to this purple zone, get a wick down, but I would not like to see us break this 50. That is the line in the sand for me at the 2,500 mark. Let's go down to the 1 hour and then we'll talk more about it. So here you kind of had a fake out. You know, you did drop below the 21. If that video would have came out this morning, we would have stayed ahead of this curve because I was talking about getting a fake out below the 21 and then resumption up. Now, you know, you could have got faked out to where it would come down to the 50 and finish the BART, you know, but that didn't happen. You had a fake out, kind of like a bear trap, came back up. Now we are making closures above the 21. Now, let me see here. We do have bullish divergence on the 1 hour. Let's see if that already played out. So we got a 3 point. No, I don't think it's played out already. I think we could possibly go up to the 24,500 mark on a closure. MACD. All right, so we got a strong downside curvature, but it looks like it's trying to curl around, which, I mean, we did get bearish divergence here, but that already played out. You know, that was our downside move. BBWP is above the moving average, so that's what I'm saying. The volatility is going to continue. I think we have another massive move incoming. Right now we are at the range highs, so basically your bullish case is that you break 24,135 on a closure, on a 1 hour closure. I would expect us to get all the way up to 25K at that point. That would also imply that we get into the bullish control zone back above that signal line, which we're finding some resistance on right now. We need to get back above 24K or 24,025 in order. So we're like $25 away. But we are finding a little bit of resistance on it, but we'll find out. We can always come down to this 21 once again, make a higher low on the 1 hour and resume our uptrend. You know, because right now we do have a lower low, but I think this is just a short-term correction. You know, and also for the bullish case, I'd like to see this MACD get back above that signal line, start printing some dark green bars on that histogram as your BBWP enters the upper zone. We could come all the way back down to this 200 and still be all right. 22,500 is the line in the sand for me. if we cross 22,500 in this last low right here, we could get a wick down. But if we break this last low on a closure, I'm actually going to raise this up a bit. If we break that last low on a closure, actually, I'm going to keep it here because we could bounce off that 200. So if we break, basically, if we break the 200, 22,500, all right, I think we're making new lows, past the 17 something that we already got. I do think we would work our way down to 16K, possibly even lower. That would also imply that we get all the way into the bearish control zone and the MACD gets below that zero line, which would be 21. Okay, so 21,950, but that would just add to the momentum. You see what I mean? If you cross 22,500, I mean, it's going to pick up right after that. So it's going to go down quick. I mean, I don't even expect us to get a bounce at the 22,285, really. I think we would get some sort of minor wick and then just crack down. I do not think that's what's going to happen. I do think we are going higher. And honestly, it's starting to look like we work our way up to 26, 27. I don't think we're going to top out here. That's my opinion, not financial advice. But these red zones, you can kind of tell what I'll be doing in my trades. So definitely stay nimble right now. I want to see if there's anything else I want to check out. Let's see here. No, not really. There's your bullish and bearish cases for Bitcoin. So yeah, I mean, it's either 26K or new lows, bottom line. Let's move on to Ethereum. By the way, if you guys are liking this video, like and subscribe to the channel. I need all the support I can get. It's very hard to make a technical analysis channel in a bear market. So I could really use the support, and turn on the bell notifications so you can get notified for this time-sensitive content. A lot of times, as soon as I put these videos out, the moves happen. We stay very ahead of the curve. We have a very high hit rate. Definitely a channel that you want to watch. Okay, so here on Ethereum, we did get up to that VPVR. We are getting rejected from that VPVR level, just finding some minor resistance, not rejected. We did come down, bounce off the 50. We kind of had a BART action right here. Didn't give up the whole rally. We just kind of front ran the 50. I mean, a lot of people are expecting us to go higher with Ethereum. Now, that doesn't mean that you be the contrarian. That always does not work, or that doesn't always work. Sometimes the majority is right and the lesser majority is wrong. A lot of people get wrecked either way. A lot of times it'll wreck people both ways. So your RSI, finding some resistance on that signal line, you bounced right off that bearish control zone. So that's a good sign. MACD looks like it's curling around. Probably going to try to cross that signal line again as your negative momentum on the histogram is waning. BBWP came down from a very low read. Now it's above its moving average. So like I was saying, the volatility is not over. We've had a pretty massive move, for Ethereum. Let's see what we got here. All the way down to our red zone. Remember our red zone that we had. We got a 32% move right there. Our red zone was the line in the sand, and we bounced off of it. So, business as usual. Your 100 is about to cross your 200. That's looking good. So even if we fall below the 50, this purple zone is going to be major support. But honestly, I would like us to stay above the top of that zone, and not break this last low. If we come down to the purple zone and then bounce again, it's going to kind of look like we're setting up for a head and shoulders. But we'll find out. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I do think we break these last range highs at 1754 region. So let's move on to the daily and let's see where Ethereum's at. Higher highs, higher lows. RSI in the bullish control zone above that signal line. MACD and signal line above that zero line. Positive momentum is increasing. You front ran the signal line, resumption up. BBWP looks like it's contracting a bit. So your vol is going lower, but you are below that moving average. But I mean, that's from a lot of this. I mean, you chopped sideways there for a while, so of course that's going to bring it down. But I think once you break this purple zone, you start working your way back up to that moving average. I think the next levels is 1900 and 2100. I, I don't quite think you're going to get above the 200 moving average at the 2350 mark. That's kind of what I'm looking at there. Let's go ahead and put a box because that's where I'm expecting. Oh, we already have one. So yeah, here's the box that we've had drawn for a while. I mean, we've had this box drawn since back here. So, I mean, we stay ahead of the pulse of the market. Let's see here. I want to check out. So basically, you got a lot of good bullish momentum for Ethereum. As soon as your BBWP starts expanding again, that's when the moves are going to come. So watch your BBWP and then watch your momentum as it happens. I mean, you want to stay above this signal line and get deeper into the bullish control zone. We want to cross this 68.95 level on the RSI, also this last high. If we can do that, that's going to look good, because right now, if this is a confirmed high, you're going to have bearish divergence. Don't really want to see that. If so, you could probably come down to the 21 and the 50 at 1483 and then make a higher low. Now, your 21 is about to cross your 50, which is a good sign. If we can get that 21 and that 50 to come up and cross the 100, that's what I think leads you up to the 200 in this purple zone at the 2350 mark. I really don't think it's going to go above there. I don't think it's going to go above there. So your bullish case or your bearish case is that you break the 50, come down to this purple zone. But if you break this purple zone on any kind of closure, I think you come all the way down to the lows at 1350 region and lower. I think that would resume the bear market. I think we would have another stop at the 1200 mark. Honestly, I think we would come all the way down to 1000 pretty quickly if you break this purple zone. All right. So, and then I already went over the bullish case. So let's move on to Solana on the daily. All right. So Solana's been going sideways for quite a while now, barely up and to the right, but we are in an uptrend, making higher highs, higher lows. Let's see here. RSI, neutral median zone, above the signal line. All right. Let's see here. MACD, riding that zero line a little bit, but we are above it. See what I mean? We've kind of worked our way up. We did just cross the signal line to the upside, printing a dark green bar in the histogram. As you see, your BBWP is still contracting. Your moving average comes right in the neutral, in the medium line. So we're going to find out what happens when we cross that moving average. Solana looks a little bit weaker than Bitcoin and Ethereum. You really didn't get the big rally like you did. But now, right here, it looks like we're going to try to make a lower high. Actually, yeah, I mean, we could be trying to make a lower high here. That would also confirm bearish divergence. So we need to get back above this last wick on a 1 hour closure at 44.44. We need to get a closure above there, or at least two there. MACD, fresh cross of the zero line, signal lines coming up as well. Positive momentum is increasing on the histogram as your BBWP is above the moving average and working its way up to the top. So it's looking good. It's not looking as good as Bitcoin and Ethereum, but if we do break that last high and get in the bullish control zone, I do think we come up to the $50 to $51 mark like we've been talking about for a while. Let's go down to the 4 hour. So here on your 4 hour, your 21 and your 50, well, your 50 bounced off your 100 to the upside. Your 21 crossed your 100 and your 50. 21 also bounced off of the 200. These moving averages look good. If these things fan out, that's going to look really good, especially if we can get in the bullish control zone. We are testing the signal line, and MACD above the zero line looks like it's curling over a bit. Your positive momentum is decreasing, so we could have a little more of a pullback. we're actually going to talk about, what exactly I think is going to happen with Bitcoin here in a minute. BBWP is below the moving average, not too far, coming down to the median line. Could consolidate, could come down to the 21 and still be in good shape. 21 is going to be major support at the 40-50. You got this last high, the 21. It's an even number. You could even get a wick down to here and test the top of this diagonal trend line again. But we'll find out. Bullish case, like I said, is if you get above the 44-44 region, come all the way up to 50. If we break that, we'll talk about what happens next. Bearish case is that you break this diagonal trend line in the bottom of this red zone and your 2150 and your 100. I would expect a minor bounce at the 3770 region. Honestly, I think we would get the next bounce at the 3468 region. But ultimately, I think you come back down to $31 and lower. If Bitcoin breaks 22,500, I think we come down all the way to $15 for Solana. Fairly quickly too. I mean, it's going to cascade down. If we break 22,500 on Bitcoin, it's going to cascade down. All right, so what I think, this is either what's going to happen. Either we're going to break this red zone on a closure. If we can do that, 25K quickly, possibly even 26. All right. Now, we could always have a pullback down to this 21 and still be in really good shape at the $23,000 mark. Like I said, we could even get a wick down here, but honestly, I think the 21 would probably hold. We are in the bullish control zone on the 4-hour and trying to get there on the 1-hour. So, I mean, we could come down, like I said, 23K, which would be the top of this VPVR level. We're going to have major support there. And yeah, I mean, that's what I think. We come down to 23K, resumption up, or just blast up from here. I mean, right now it's more likely that we just break these range highs, or we come down to the 21 and make a higher low and then resume up. I mean, we're finding resistance right now on the RSI, finding resistance. We're going to find resistance on this signal line on the MACD, but your BBWP looks like it's curling over a bit, but your moving average is curling up. So I do think the move is coming. I don't think this is the end. I think this is about halfway through. I do think this is the last rally. I do think we're in a bear market. I think this bear market continues after we hit anywhere from 26 to 28. All right, so those are my thoughts for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.